Peace, kings, queens, starseeds, light beings, intergalactic federation, Galactica. We experienced a new energy on the planet on 12/12, and the energy we received was a gateway that opened up. And a lot of people is confused, a lot of conscious beings, on who they really are. So at this time, I'm going to channel through my higher self, and I'm going to deliver a message to you guys. You know, I don't come on live often, and when I do come on live, I always have a message. It's either a third dimensional message or a fifth dimensional message. It just depends, because as an ascended master, I could travel through different dimensions from 3D to 5D. And a lot of third dimensional beings that are vibrating at 3D, I go to 3D to help them to get the 4th-D and then the 5th-D. So they expand their consciousness and ascend to a higher consciousness of being. So at this time, I'm going to channel through my higher self and deliver a message to you. So some time ago, we was taken from our real DNA on who we really were and who we really are. So a lot of you guys are operating from a human perspective, from a earth perspective. So they call you guys earth beings. So a lot of you are earth beings, and a lot of you aren't earth beings. Some of you are planetarian beings. And the planetarian beings operate from a different system than you guys. You guys operate from a humanitarian system. And the humanitarian system is a computer system. So you guys operate from a computer system. We operate from a star system. The star system is the planetarian system that we operate from. So along our journey of being conscious beings, they switched the original template. They switched the original mission that we was originally on. The original mission that we was on was a mission for world peace and a mission for world abundance. What they did was they switched the mission that we on. So I'm going to get back to the video. I see my assistant was bringing my food in. But at this time, I'm not going to take no dinner or nothing, because this message is really important. But like I was saying, they took us from a earth system. I mean, from a planetarian system to an earth system. I'm sorry for the interruption. So when I'm interrupted, it's hard to really get back into the groove, because I'm not speaking to you as an earth being. I'm speaking to you from a planetarian being perspective. So I'm channeling through my higher self when I'm speaking to you. So when I'm speaking in the spirit realm, I'm speaking from my higher self. So a lot of you guys operate from a 3-dimensional consciousness, meaning that you're still asleep and you don't understand what's going on. So what they did was they took you and created a birth certificate, which is a certificate that was created by the American Note Company. And then they created a trust out of that certificate, and then they created a Social Security card, which was created in 1974, the Social Security Act. So with those two trusts that they put together, they put you into a computer system, and the computer system brainwashed you to believe that you are an earth being. So when you believe in that you are an earth being, you are asleep consciously. So they consciously took you and put you to sleep So now a lot of you vibrate from a 3D consciousness and don't even understand what true consciousness really is. So you hear a lot of people talk about the system, the system, the system. So we operate from a planetarian system, a star system. It took me a long time to ascend into a higher light body. You see, and I stopped eating meat. I stopped eating a lot of processed foods. I don't eat no canned foods, nothing processed, no GMO, nothing like that. I drink a lot of tea. I eat a lot of green vegetables that vibrate, that carry frequency codes of the universe. So I'm an ascended master because I realize incarnation and that I incarnated into multiple life bodies. And I've been on a mission when I came here to this planet before. But now I'm continuing my mission. And my mission is to save humanity and spread the message and wake people up so they could vibrate at a higher frequency and understand that they planetarian beings and not earth beings. So right now is a lot of people that's caught up in the system mentally to where they have different programs that they put you on. And the program is a mental stasis to where you be stuck into a mental paradigm of thinking. So they controlling your thinking and they controlling your logic. Logic is linear time, the now. Logic is being conscious of your every movement and your every thought, your every perception. That's what logic and being conscious is. So a lot of you guys, logic in men and women, or I refer to you as planetarian beings, are being controlled on this planet. Earth is my mission. And my mission is to save humanity from all the grid because we are awakened. There's a lot of light working individuals that's out there that are lightened and that are enlightened to this new frequency. They tricked a lot of you to believe that they had a space station and that a man walked on the moon and all of this crazy stuff. So I really, really, really want you guys to stop believing that, because nobody walked on the moon. The moon is too hot. See what I'm saying? Like we operate from a planetary system. So we understand all the elements of the earth, from geometric symmetry, from shapes, from numbers to codes to colors, and everything carry frequency. So we understand Earth from a frequency grid, not from a human perspective. So what they did was switch your consciousness and put you into a box. So that way you won't be able to think as a god and goddess and ascend to a higher frequency of existence. Because everything that is created in the universe came from you, because you are a God particle. You are a particle of the universe. So by you being a universal particle, God is a title. You see, per se, God is a title, but we still use it because we encoded it in our DNA and we understand ourselves as gods. So being technical, God is a title. But if you want to refer to yourself as God, then it's good to resonate with what makes you feel good and what resonates with your spirit. Because a lot of us come from different planets. Some of us come from the Pleiades. Some of us come from Lyra. Some of us come from Sirius. So you got to understand what planet you come from. A lot of y'all trying to figure out what heritage you come from, what lineage you come from on the earth. And a lot of that is brainwashed, because when you leave this earth, you can't take it with you. So you need to understand where you come from the star system, and understand who is your intergalactic family, because when you leave here, you need to know where you're going. And I want to ask a lot of y'all a question. How many of y'all know when you leave this earth where you going? You see what I'm saying? And it ain't about where you going on this earth. It's about where you going when you leave. So when you on this earth, you preparing to go back from where you came. And a lot of y'all going to go back to living as star beings, as celestial beings in different dimensions. And a lot of y'all going to come back to this reality because you got things that you're doing that you need to finish. And then a lot of y'all haven't finished what you're supposed to do in this reality. So you're going to come back, and you're going to come back until you get it right. And then a lot of y'all going to be comfortable to the dimension that you enter once you leave this realm of reality. And then you're going to have a full understanding of what your mission was while you're here. So while I'm here on this planetary plane of existence and vibration, I'm preparing for where I'm going when I pass over. See, we don't fear death because we understand what death is. Death is just a stasis that you go through. So death is a mental paradigm, it's a dimension, it's multiple dimensions. So like I tell a lot of people, and a lot of beings rather, that's caught up in a three-dimensional paradigm of thinking where they feel like they need to be governed. The universe never put anyone over you to govern you. You are your own government. You are your own existence. You are your own universe. The universe never put anyone in charge of the planet. We are supposedly we are supposed to have a trust, and the universe trusted all of us with the planet, but then that trust was taken away by the government when they created you into a corporate fiction and created the birth certificate and the social security trust. So that's two trusts. One is the Sesticate trust and one is the Sesticate V trust. So that's two trusts that have been set up in your name, and then they brainwashing you with the trust because they are having you to believe that you have to be controlled on this planet by paperwork. And if you caught up into that 3D paradigm, then you are going to be controlled. So a lot of light beings, which is star seeds and celestial beings, are waking up. I've been on this mission since 2006 when I first awakened. And ever since then, I've been studying a lot of research on the galaxy, on the planet, on the weight of the planet, the density of water, the altitude. I've been studying on Celsius, molecules, atoms, electrons, neutrons, neurons. I've been studying on energy. I've been studying on shapes, frequencies, things of that nature. So I've been really getting in tune with the planet. And I've been leaving this earth three-dimensional thinking. So it's like a lot of us, we astral plane to where we could actually think on a 3D dimensional paradigm, or we could astral plane to a 5th dimensional paradigm and switch our consciousness. So as conscious beings, it's a law. So we know the law. By knowing we are planetarian beings, we know the law. So we know that we're not from this planet. And when you know you're not from this planet, you know your mission. Because that inner voice within yourself is your higher consciousness. And that higher consciousness exists within another dimension. And you connected to that higher consciousness, and you connected to the universal auric field. And that's the universe. It's an auric field around you, a whole energy field that you suspended in that controls your avatar body. So they really got you thinking that you are a human. And when you think that you're a human, you get caught up in a three-dimensional paradigm. So it's a lot of things that will have you caught up in a 3D paradigm. So, you know, a lot of women, they was giving them IUDs to women. So that way women won't get pregnant, because they want to stop us from actually creating more and more star beings and light beings on this planet. So the IUDs, it's like it's a frequency, it's a chip. It's like a computer chip. So when women put that computer chip in them, it causes cancer. And it caused cervical cancer, and it shut their DNA down by switching their genetics. So a lot of that is controlled radioactivity frequencies, because we are frequencies. You guys got to understand that we are all frequencies. You see what I'm saying? We vibrate at a 528 frequency. That's the frequency of the ether, the spirit. The spirit is the ether. And then you have different objects that have an auric field that you could feel the energy from. Any object you approach it, you could feel the energy from, because it gives off energy, because it's an electron. So the electron holds a charge that give off energy, where you could feel the vibration of any object that you come in tune with. So a lot of objects that I'm in tune with is different geometric shapes that carry different energy, that open different portals, that allow me to see into different galaxies of reality. So I channel through different guides, spirit guides, that show me different things and that allow me to deliver these messages to you. So when I deliver these messages, I'm speaking from my higher self, from another spirit realm, totally from out of this spirit realm. You see, and that's what a lot of the spirits, what a lot of the prophets per se was delivering messages from their higher self. So those prophets are not here for you to worship them, because when you worship, you idol. You worship and you idol, and you put your mind on a three-dimensional paradigm to where you start idolizing, and now you can't see your true self, because you're a God particle. So a God is an electron, an electric charge that can never be condensed, that can never die, period. So that energy is the auric field that's around you, that you suspended by. So it could take any shape, form, or fashion, because it's matter. Matter could be shaped into any shape or form. Matter could be air, matter could be water. Matter could be a substance, a hard substance, as metal and different things like that. So when you understand molecules, and you understand that molecules could be shaped into different objects, which is atoms, then you understand the frequency that they vibrate from, and then you understand that you are attached to these objects by vibration. And then when you start getting in tune with these objects, you get so in tune that you start feeling the energy from these objects, and then you can start breaking down the energy from the objects using your mind, because it's all molecules, and those molecules could be shaped into different things. So when you start understanding that you are a planetarian being and you're not an earth being, you start using these elements and start using these different energies to start doing things. So a lot of times people could be they could be subatomically controlled. Because subatomically, we can control particles with our mind, because it's just energy. So a lot of times I work off of energy from different objects, because I could feel the energy that objects give off, and my energy versus the object's energy. I can use my energy to push any object, and I think you guys call that telekinesis, to where you can move objects with your energy. So then you get to the point where you understand that this reality is an illusion, and you start taking the illusion, and it's a conscious, it's called psychosis, to where you go into another state of reality. And with that reality, you start separating molecules from what they really are. And you separate the molecules to the point where you start seeing them, and you could start shaping them into different things, because you could take the matter and shape it with your mind, and then you could bring it back to this reality, and it becomes an atom. So when you understand who you really are, and you start expanding your higher consciousness, you go from a 3D paradigm, from a transcendent state to an ascended state, to where you ascend to a higher frequency, to where your body is resonating so much radiation, which is frequency, that you start attracting things to you, because all it is the neurons, and it's electrons, because the electrons is allowing the neurons to keep the charge. So I understand reality from that perspective, from a planetarian perspective. I'm totally separated from this 3D reality, to where I'm thinking from a fifth dimensional paradigm. So a lot of you guys are still asleep. And a lot of you gonna wake up and come out of the vortex, because that's what the trick was for the Vatican and the Pope, to put us to sleep with religion, so that way we won't know the true gods and goddesses who we are. Ask the Pope and the Vatican why they looking through space with a microscope, because they know the energy grid and they know all of this stuff. You see what I'm saying? And these things that wasn't supposed to be leaked out, but they leaking. For one, we not afraid of it in no shape, form, or fashion. And if a lot of you guys see me live, stop calling me, because it's interrupting the video right now. And it's disrespectful for people that really want to receive the message. Because when I'm giving these messages, I'm not giving it to you from a 3D perspective. I'm giving it to you from a fifth dimensional paradigm. You see what I'm saying? To where I'm not even caught up in the paradigm, because really I could astroplane into different dimensions. And those dimensions are just in your consciousness, how deep you are into your spirit realm of existence. You see what I'm saying? Because a lot of you are going to be stuck on third density, and your spirit is going to cast out of existence, to where you vibrated a certain frequency and the earth vibrated a certain frequency, and if you're not eating to match the frequency of the earth, then you are not going to no longer be in this existence. You're going to cast out of this existence. So that's what death is in this reality. So if you like this reality and you want to remain in this reality, then you need to become conscious of who you are as a god and a goddess, and as a celestial being, because I told you God and goddess is a title. But if you feel comfortable with using that title, then so be it, because it causes peace and harmony between people that's conscious to that vibration. So I'm not trying to change anyone's vibration or perspective. I'm waking you up to reality, so that way you can understand the matrix is really real. That is numbers, and we created from numbers, from geometric symmetries, patterns, shapes, and everything. So the whole universe consists of numbers. So it's called the matrix. So like I said, for the ones that didn't get the message, that just tuned in, they took us from a planetary star system to a computer system. So for the people that's stuck into a mental stasis, they gonna vibrate a three-dimensional paradigm. And then you got a lot of people that woke up and that's awakened and enlightened, that understand a little bit of the mission, but they still consciously sleep. Because some of them still on fourth density, some of them on third density. So a lot of times I have to go back into third density just to bring them into fourth density, and then bring them into fifth density, to where they think on a higher consciousness, to where they consciousness, they thinking is up here, and the people that's thinking on third density is here. And if you look at Revelations in the Bible, it said only a chosen few. And it's a lot of people that's evil. And evil is just a low vibration, because they stuck in a 3D mental paradigm. You know, a lot of times they was just brainwashed, and that's why they think the way they do, because before they woke up into a higher consciousness, they was already brainwashed. So now they vibrate at a three-dimensional paradigm, and they allow evil to compel them, to move them, to do different things, because we operating from the spirit. We spirit beings. This is only an avatar. This body is an avatar. So you are a spirit in an avatar body. You see what I'm saying? So by you being a spirit in an avatar body, your body is being controlled from another dimension. So when you wake up and understand that this is an illusion, then you don't be attached to it anymore. And then you start realizing who you really are. But as long as you attach to the illusion, then you get caught up in the mental stasis to where you will believe anything that's put in front of you because you never knew the true perception. And perception is the reality. You see what I'm saying? The Maya is the reality. That's what they call it. That's why they created the Mayan calendar. You see what I'm saying? Because they knew the reality. So we just had the 11:11, which was the alignment, where universal alignment happened 12:21. That's when universal alignment happened, when the earth met its core. And but with the 11:11, the earth saw itself in duality, meaning that what the frequency of the earth is magnified twice. So we moving into a grid to where everyone is waking up and resonating off a different frequency, and it's the frequency of love. It's the frequency of abundance. So we no longer vibrating off a 3D frequency. So the ones that's on the 3D frequency, they actually leaving this reality because they not vibrating at a frequency that would allow them to stay in this reality. So they tricked you guys to believe that it was space. It's no such thing as time. It's only past, present, and future. So what we do as light workers, and as ascended beings, and as ascended master, I write my reality on how I want it to be, because I could astral plane into the future and write my timeline, because the timeline of existence is moving and moving and moving, and whatever you see is what's going to happen in your reality. Everybody have a different way that they perceive reality. So your reality is based on your perception of what you see, what you think about, and what you let into your auric field of existence. So what you need to do is start writing out your reality, whether it's mental pictures that create different vibrations within your emotions that would allow you to vibrate with the natural frequency of the universe, that would allow things to come into this reality that we vibrating in right now. So I control my reality by writing my reality, by astral planning, by going into the future and writing what I want my life to be. And as the timeline of this future reality compels forward, I'm able to experience whatever I've written out for my life to be. That's the true perception of life. That's what true life is. They took you and put you into a computer system so they could control your timeline and everyone's timeline collectively and make the earth what it is today. But when you wake up out of that and you're conscious, you understand that that's a mental grid. It's called stasis, to where you stuck. Some people are stuck in a time warp to where they don't understand time because they still stuck in the past. But some people still stuck in the present, but they can't let go of the past. So the past is still eating them, and it's not allowing them to go to the future. The past is the past. So leave the past in the past, because you the only one that know about the past, because can't nobody else experience your past because it happened within you. You can only talk about it, but you can never experience again because can't nobody experience it with you. So leave the past in the past. Start living in the present, which is the now. Because when you live in the past, you block the now, because the past is not going to let you move forward. So a lot of people keep themselves stuck in stasis by not moving forward. Let go of the past. Leave what happened in the past in the past. Stay in linear time. Keep your mind focused on what you're doing right now. And if you're trying to do something greater, then focus towards the future and let the present predict the future. Stop living in the past. This is real reality. We are spirits. This is a planetarian vortex. That's why, you know, a lot of funny stuff been happening lately, to where they actually been giving you guys the messages. You saw the Matrix with Neo, and then you see the Android phone, which was one of the Droid phones that they created. Then Android is one of the applications that the computer run off. So then they give you the Android, they give you these drones that's watching over you. All of this is our planetary stuff. This stuff came from the intergalactic realm where I came from Lyra, from the Pleiades, from Sirius. And y'all don't even know it. So on Earth, they got y'all brainwashed. Half of y'all are living in a mental stasis. That's why you guys are going through the poverty and the things you're going through, because you're not in tune with who you really are. And a lot of y'all could take it for a joke, but I'm living proof. You see what I'm saying? I'm not starving. I'm not hurting for no money. I don't even need no money. I don't even see money. I got so much money, I don't even know what to do with it, to be honest with you. I just help people and give it away. I'm not even like all of these things that you guys attracted to. I'm past that, because I'm a God particle. These things came from me. I vibrate at the same frequency these things that you attach to. I manifest these things. Anything I want, I attract it to me. I make it come to me. I don't go to it. I'm a God particle. So I'm an electron. An electron and a neutron. A neuron is two different electrical fields that operate, that attract each other. So I could take my electron and attach it to a neuron and actually charge it up and attract it to me. So electrically, we attracted to everything around us. Like I said, every object has an auric field. Every object has an auric field. Like right here, this crystals. This is a cat eye right here. This cat eye broke away from a part of the universe, a rock, a mountain, and these crystals carry DNA, because these are molecules that carry energy that's shaped into a hard atom that allow us to see them in this photonic realm of reality that we see. So this crystal carry DNA and energy that you could take this energy and do different things with it. So half of you guys are not even up on your crystals or none of that. Half of the crystals on this earth, a lot of them will heal you because you vibrate with the crystals. You can actually take these crystals and put it on your body and heal yourself if you understand what they do. And then what they do is, being that we have an auric field that's around us, in the auric field that's around us, we could feel the vibration from these different crystals. Like if you hold your hand on one of the crystals, you could feel the vibration from it. It's like a tense heat. And when you start feeling the vibration from objects, that means that you are in tune with the universal energy. That means that you are ascending to a higher frequency. You could also do this. You could take your two hands and put them together like this and just move them together slow without touching each other. And you could actually feel the energy from your two hands. And it's going to feel like a little pull that you could feel, because the energy is current and it flow all the time. It's the male and female energy, the yin and the yang energy that flow through the universe all the time. So you could take that energy and do a lot of things with it, because you are energy. So when you start seeing yourself as a human, you shut down that consciousness within yourself and it becomes dormant. You see what I'm saying? And then you're not vibrating with the universe. So when you understand who you are, you can attract. All of these objects are molecules. It's a molecule, an electron, a neuron, an atom, and now it's a photon, because we can see it through the photonic realm of reality. So it go through different stasis, different states of vibration in order for it to even get to this reality, for you to even see it. You understand what I'm saying? So it's brought together on a subatomic level. So subatomically, the particles of this is brought together and it shapes a hard atom. So subatomically, we could break down this particle and move it with our mind. When you get to that point, That's when you are vibrating at a higher frequency where you know that it's an illusion and you know that you exist in another dimension. And then you start controlling things from that dimension in this dimension, and then you start attracting things because you start using the electronic field, which is the electrons, to start attracting. You see what I'm saying? So I'm telling you, I'm not a human. I'm a planetarian being. You're not human. You're planetarian beings. Stop letting them people make you think you're human. Get out of that computer system. It's just codes, binary codes, ones and zeros. Being that we operate from a binary grid, they could put you on a computer system and control you by a computer system because they controlling your consciousness. You see what I'm saying? So right now, we activated. When the 1212 came, we moved into another dimension. The portals open. It's portals that open up on the earth horizontally, that move straight forward, horizontal. It's nothing that's coming down. The only energy you feeling is when it comes down is through the crown chakra, and that's only if you could go inside yourself and you attract it to the light, and you could actually picture the light and project the light up from your crown chakra through the universal auric field. And when that light goes up, then you get in tune with different galactic beings and higher ascended masters and things of that nature, because there's an auric field that blocked that. Then they sent all of these satellites and everything up into space, and they started blocking the energy that transcend down. And a lot of us are blocked. So a lot of us going through mental blocks. So they tricked you to believe it's NASA. A man walked the moon. A man never walked the moon a day in his life. Do you understand the energy from the moon is so hot, it will burn him instantly. So all of that stuff is, when you understand who you are, and there's a planetarian being and who you are, then you start understanding all of that stuff was a mental paradigm that they put you on to brainwash you, to keep you brainwashed from this reality. So you got to wake up and understand what this reality is and why these people are trying to brainwash you. You see what I'm saying? And I'm giving a message to you. The Pope and the Vatican brainwashed you with religion. And I don't care what they do, because I'll come back in multiple realities and keep doing the same thing that I'm doing again. When you leave a legacy, you leave a legacy. So when you leave this reality, you come back and incarnate into another light body, and you continue to do the things that you was doing in multiple realities that you was in. A lot of you, they say, oh, you live multiple lives. You trying to figure out who you was from multiple and past lives. You see what I'm saying? You incarnated into this light body because you didn't come from Earth. You came from a planetary star, a star system, because when you was first created, you was a sperm cell, which was a molecule. And that molecule existed in the spirit realm. And the spirit realm exists in the outer realms of reality, of existence. So it had to go through 9 months, which is 9 months of creation. The 9 is the spirit. So once the spirit was formed, it formed the hard atom, which is the body, which is the macabre. So through the macabre, you could control the energy. Stop letting these people think you are human. To be human is to be humane. I'm speaking to you from my higher self. I'm channeling through my higher self, and I'm talking to you from the spirit realm. I'm not talking to you from this 3D earth dimensional paradigm that they have us caught up on. So a lot of you are transcending into a higher frequency to where you becoming conscious, you waking up, you feeling different energies, you feeling different ways. Some of you experiencing pain, some of you experiencing different, you're not the same as you were. And the reason why is because you are waking up. Your body is ascending to a higher frequency of existence. Earth is ascending to a higher frequency of existence. We are God particles. Nature is the mother of the earth. Nature is receiving her energy from her sun, which is Horus, which is the sun god. And when that sun shine down on those fruits and vegetables, it's sending the codes into those fruits and vegetables. And when you eat those fruits and vegetables break down into your body, goes into your cells, and it carry the energy from your blood from the blood into your cells, and from your cells into you. And that's how the universe talks to your genetic DNA. So if you're not eating from the universe, then you are blocking the light that the universe is trying to give you. You understand? That's why they want to give you these GMO foods. That's why they poisoning your food. That's why they poisoning the water. Do you understand the water contain electrolytes? The water contain electrons. And half of the water don't even have electrolytes because it's not alkaline. So when we woke up and understood that we was drinking alkaline water, we drinking the alkaline water because it carried electrolytes. We need those electrons to keep us charged. You need the electrons from foods. All the foods that you eat are molecules. Those molecules go into your body and break down and go into your cells. And when you eat the wrong foods, you're damaging your cells. Everything happens subatomically. So stop eating from the earth. Stop eating the blood. When you take this blood into your body from animals, you are shutting down your original genetics. You have a blood type that you was created from, that your blood carry, a blood type. That blood type is your genetic code. So when you mix an animal genetic code with that blood type, you scramble your DNA. And when you scramble your DNA, you get sick. I'm not talking to you as a scientist, as a doctor. I'm talking to you as a spirit being, as a planetary being. You see what I'm saying? As a star being. We are fully enlightened. I'm not talking to you from a third dimensional paradigm. My consciousness shifted up. I've been out of that 3D mental stasis. So I don't eat no processed foods. I don't eat no meats, none of that canned stuff, none of that. I drink teas. I drink things that resonate with us, that's going to allow us to heal ourselves. We all had the power of healing. You could heal your family. You could heal anyone in your family. That energy that you feel when you hold your hand together like this, I want all of you guys to try it. Hold your hands together like this and feel that energy. And you're going to feel, don't let your hands touch. Just hold it together slightly and move it around. And you're going to feel like a little pull of energy. When you start feeling that energy, I want you to keep practicing that. And then practice it with different stones and crystals and stuff like that. Because then you activating your auric field, the energy around you, so you can start feeling stuff. When you walk into the room, you can feel if there's a spirit in the room by holding your hands up like this, because you start feeling that same energy that you feel like this. When I walk in the room naturally, I feel the energy because I'm so enlightened and so heightened that I feel the energy naturally. So I could tell you when I walk into a room if there's a spirit in the room automatically, because I start feeling the different energy. Start feeling like the energy could either switch Celsius. It could either be a cold energy or it could be a hot energy. You see what I'm saying? Or it could be real hot to where it go to Fahrenheit. So I could tell what type of energy is in the room. So when you ascend to a higher frequency as a celestial being, you start understanding these things. So if I walk into anyone's house, I could tell if there's spirits in the house. I could tell if there's spirits in the room. I could tell if somebody vibrating. I could see auric fields. I could see the energy around you. You ever look down the street real sharp and you look down the street and you see like a halo, like a vibration of energy? It look like an energy that's vibrating. That's an auric field. When you can see that energy, you start seeing that around people naturally. And then when you start tuning in more and more, it changes colors. And those colors mean a lot of things. So when you start looking at people's aura, you could tell whether they negative or you could tell whether they positive, because you start seeing the aura around them. And when I tell you guys that I'm an ascended master, I mean that I'm an ascended master. I totally ascended from this 3D frequency. I'm thinking on a higher grid. I see shapes, numbers, patterns, That's how I see things. I don't see flesh. I don't see things like that. I totally got out of that paradigm of thinking. So I see into different dimensions. So I'm a ascended master. I'm a 22, a master builder. I vibrate from a 22 frequency. There's only a few master numbers, 11, 33, 22, and 44. And the 44 is a gateway to another dimension. So like I was saying, right now, a lot of these elitists, they are afraid because we are getting enlightened. We are waking up from the 3D system that they put us on, the computer system, to a 5D dimensional thinking, to where we taking back our sovereignty. So the 1212 is the return of the royal family, the platinum ray. We went through different rays. We went through the blue ray. We went through we went through the blue ray, the ultra ray. Now we on the platinum ray. We went through the violet ray. All of these was different rays, different energies that activated on the planet, that activated different star systems. And these star systems gave off the energy for us to enter different portals of consciousness. So that's what these gateways represent. When you see the 1111 and you see the 1212, numbers carry frequency. So the number 1 is when the energy is relevant. 0 is a cancellation. So you got reality and you have actuality. You see, so when you see a 1 and a 0, you have the 1 is sending energy, the 0 is a cancellation. But then when you have a 1 and a 2 that's aligned together, you had a vibration from the 1, then you had a vibration from the 2. So it's infinite, because now the 1 becomes a 2 and it becomes a 12. So this opens up a gateway, because we are all molecules that carry frequencies, and everything within the universe is numbers. So we operate from a number grid. So through those number grids, you can open up different gateways of consciousness and go into different realities of information and understand who you are and what's happening. And then a lot of you guys, you need to start following the patterns of the moons, because the moon carry a lot of frequency. See, what happened was they tried to intercept our original template. We was already on this original template when the Egyptians was in Mesopotamia, and when they was in Egypt, and like years ago, like centuries ago. We can't even date back the time. We just know it was a long time ago. Nobody could really go. I don't care. You could take 1,000,000 philosophers and get them together. They can never tell when the earth was first started, period. So going back to the Egyptian time, when we was using numbers and everything to tell what time it was, we wasn't using time. Time is what's going to age you. When you look at your watch and all of that, and you like, oh, it's 12 o'clock. That's not time. There's no such thing as time. We only have past, present, and future. That's it. So going back to the Egyptians in Mesopotamia, and during those ages, we looked up to the stars for enlightenment. We didn't look to man, to religion for enlightenment, because we already understood that we was gods, and that we controlled the portals and the gateways to different dimensions, and we able to vibrate off of different frequencies and attract different energies based on the charged electrons. And then we understand that we matter, and we could take any form, and we could vibrate at any altitude that we want. So when we understand that, we take shape and do what we want. Do not let the fact that Donald Trump came into election scare you, because all we have to do is think on a mental vortex and control his thinking. You see what I'm saying? And change his thinking. You got the power to do that. So we need to come together in these groups and think collectively with a love vibration and start changing the way he thinks. So we don't need to defeat him with guns. We don't need to defeat him with force. We defeat him with our minds, because we understand that. So we don't need to go to war. We don't need that. We bigger than that. You understand that? So we don't let them invoke fear into us, because fear lower your vibration. Fear is emotional. Fear is so emotional, it'll bring your vibration down, and it'll cause you to lose faith. So a lot of y'all face so much fear within your body, it allow you to lose faith. Don't you know your body is controlled by the endocrine system? The endocrine system control every gland in your body. And you have a lot of glands in your body. That's why the pineal gland is one of the glands that's controlled from it. So when people talk about the immune system is the full endocrine system, bringing together all the organs so they could work together with the nervous system, and that nervous system work with the neurons. That the neurons is the neurological charge of the universe that allow you to see these into these brain waves. You see what I'm saying? Of reality. It allow you to think consciously. It allow you to have mental DNA. It allow your DNA to be relevant. So, you know, a lot of people tuning on, and for the people that's tuning on, I'm going to go back and say this again. You guys been tricked from going from a star system to a computer system. Most of you guys on a computer system, and they got you stuck with this birth certificate and social security. So we need to go back to a planetary star system. You guys need to go back to the star system, to where you start looking up to the stars for information, because you came from a different planet. You didn't come from this earth. They don't want you to know that information, that you could do everything subatomically and control particles and vibrations and stuff like that. So they put you on this third dimensional paradigm. A paradigm is a stasis of thinking, to where your consciousness is so lowered, it lower your energy so much, it allow any negativity to enter your auric field. You vibrate from an auric field, which is the energy around you. That's why in the Matrix they said the oracle. Didn't Neo go see the oracle, and the oracle was giving him information about what's going to happen? Them people that made the movie and all of that type of stuff, they know this science. You see what I'm saying? And the Egyptians knew this science. And this is what they've been hiding from us, because they don't want us to know this science. They don't want to know. They don't want you to know that you control the auric field. So as light workers, me being an ascended master and understanding who I am and my life path, I was sent here to save humanity. So I vibrate on a whole different frequency. I come from the Pleiades. Some of y'all come from Lyra. Some of y'all come from Syria. So a lot of times you guys need to understand what star system you come from and what planet you come from. Don't be on this worldly stuff, what habitat you come from and all of this type. That's your origin. You see what I'm saying? That's just dealing with this humanitarian stuff. That's a system. All of that stuff exists in a system. When you leave this earth, none of that stuff matter. The only thing that matter is where you're taking your macabre and where you're taking your spirit. Actually, because that's what matter. Where you going when you leave this earth and you pass over into another dimension, because you still going to be conscious and you still going to exist. What are you going to do? The physical plane is here for you to create and build yourself up to understand where you're going. You see what I'm saying? The physical plane is not here for you to be playing around with it, for you to be brainwashed, for you to be watching TV and all this type of stuff. A lot of times we only wear this jewelry and do this hip hop stuff because in order for us to talk to you guys, we got to vibrate on third density. You see, and that's third density thinking. But then when I'm on third density, I could vibrate on third density, or I could astral plane in the fifth density, and now I'm astral planing as a planetarian being, and I'm in a different room receiving information. So when you think on the 3D realm, that's the information you're going to get, because your frequency vibration is lowered, because you're not eating right, so that you're not connected and in tune with the planet, so you can't receive the frequency codes from the universe, and you don't hear what the universe is telling you. So a lot of times I come down to third density and then I go to fifth density. And they only want me to go to third density to bring you guys out of third density into fifth density. So once you're on the fifth dimensional vortex, you see objects as fifth dimensional. Objects could be a triangle. You could see a heart, a shape, the octagon, a pentagon. All of these objects has points. These points carry frequency. So when you look at different objects, you understand that objects create portals. Objects was created from molecules that was brought together that carry charged energy, from a molecule to an electron, from an electron to a neuron, from a neuron to a photon, from a photon to an atom. An atom. So it's like all of those different stasis that I mentioned is different vibrations, different dimensions. So those are different dimensions of energy that an object has to go to come into this existence of reality. And that's what we had to go through to get here. That's why it took 9 months for you to come out the woman womb. So now that you're here in this reality, you need to decide what you're going to do with your time while you're here. You can't waste your time, because you're supposed to gain the knowledge to ascend. If you guys want to come back into this dimension because you're doing something in this dimension, then you need to understand who you are so you could take yourself from this dimension when you pass over and come back into this reality again. It's no such thing as death. Stop letting them scare you with death. Don't nothing die. We are energy. It's one energy grid. So it's no such thing as death. Your family never died. They only exist in another dimension. That's it. That's why they call it a dimension. And those dimensions are separated through vibration. Your heart vibrates. Your heart have a natural algorithm. And the algorithm is matched with the universal algorithm. That's what keeps you separated between dimensions. You see what I'm saying? So a long time ago, I started studying this information since 2006. So since 2006 all the way to 2016, now that's the 6-6. That's the DNA activation of the pineal gland. So from that time period, I've been governing myself to become conscious and watching my perception and who I come in contact with in my auric field. So now I'm universally aligned to deliver this message to you. You see what I'm saying? It's not me. It's not me delivering this message to you. It's the universe delivering this message to you. I'm here at my office right now. My assistants and everybody is going crazy because they hearing this message and they see me delivering this message to you guys. But this message is very important because right now there's a lot of people losing faith. It's sorry to say, but half of the people is losing faith in themselves. They losing faith in who they are. They looking into different gods that don't even exist. So they lowering their vibration by coming out of themselves, which you are a God particle. Most people ask me, they say, Q, how are you God? I say, because I'm a God particle. I'm a molecule. That's how. So, you know, we don't claim that we are the God. We are gods, meaning that we are guided by the energy and the universal forces which we derive from. That's how. So by us being enlightened and in tune with the energy and such, we know how to take that information that we get, because we all are ascended masters, but you don't ascend into being a master until you get on this way of thinking, this consciousness. So when you do pass over and you leave this reality, at the mere second of death, you could reincarnate back into another body and come right back again. You have the power to do that, and they know that. So right now, they trying to intercept you so you won't grasp what's going on and you won't build yourself up. So that way, when you do pass over, you stuck between dimensions, and then you don't ascend into to be an ascended master, because we all have free will. And by free will, you had a freedom to do what you want while you in this intergalactic realm. Stop letting them people brainwash you with all them studies that they putting in front of you. I'm not brainwashing you with nothing. I'm not reading from a book. I'm not reading from nothing. I'm channeling through my higher self, delivering this message. I'm not reading from no Illuminati stuff. I'm not reading from no text scripts, no transcripts, no books, no nothing. Stop following them people that's brainwashing you because they not telling you the truth. They telling you to go battle these people and take back your sovereignty and get yourself killed. Don't be afraid of these people. It's good to take back your sovereignty, but they not telling you the right way to do it. These people going to get you killed. Stop following these people. Know the truth. Know the truth, enlightenment. I watch these videos all the time. And I watch how people play on these people's consciousness. Do you understand that these people will put you in a 3D paradigm and how you thinking like that? And then they trap your spirit in between their reality. And then you start living their reality because you start following what they think. Start following what you think. From the time of birth, you never followed what you was thinking because your parents had you thinking the way they was taught to think. And then they was brainwashed at the time because they wasn't even conscious then. And then they put us through slavery and brainwashed us for that time period. That was a time period of stasis. We went through that little mental stasis of time lapse to where during that time what they did was they took us off the original grid that we was on. They switched the original template. The original template was for us to be star beings, planetarian beings, celestial beings. And we were supposed to operate from a star system, and we operate from the intergalactic realm of space, from the stars, from the moon, and from the sun. That's how we operate, and from nature. You see what I'm saying? We don't operate from what man put in front of you physically, from time, from calendars, from dates and all of that. All that is brainwash. All that is a mental vortex. How can you keep up with time? If you kept up with time, you would go crazy. Right now, I'm in Hong Kong and I'm in a different time zone. Then I talk to people in the UK, they're in a different time zone. I talk to people in the US, they're in a different time zone. I talk to people in Germany, they're in a different time zone. So all of these time zones, it's no such thing as time. It's only past, present, and future. That's all. And if you keep living in the past, then you ain't going to get to the future. So you need to start writing your reality. Stop letting them control your reality. The Egyptians knew what was going on because they knew their reality. They knew that anything they put in front of them, whether it was pictures or anything, it's going to control their thoughts. They thoughts, it's going to become emotions. Emotions is a vibration that you feel. And emotions create actions. Action is to compel, meaning to move forward. So if you let a thought create an emotion, and that emotion create an action, and that action either going to be a good action or it's going to be a bad action. And then whatever that action is going to be, it's going to create a reaction. And the reaction could be positive or negative depending on what the reaction is. So when we start dealing with the elements of karma, we start dealing with the karmatic field and the reality, the auric field, we start understanding these laws. The law of the universe. We go by divine law, divine consciousness, divine intervention. We don't go by ecclesiastic law. We don't go by Roman canon law. We don't go by we don't go by the law of the sea. We don't go by statutory law. You see what I'm saying? The statutory law was hidden by the law of the sea, which is admiralty law. So all of these laws is just it's the computer system. So what they did was they took us off our original template, and then they brainwashed us by putting us into a mental stasis, which is a 3D reality. And then they kept putting the 3 in front of us. You see what I'm saying? The 3, the 3, the 3. Because we went from a 1D to where we were seeing one-dimensional. And then we went into a 2D. And then when we went into 3D, everybody started going crazy. Oh, we could see into 3D reality. They started putting the glasses on and going crazy. You see what I'm saying? That was just letting you know that you able to see things in the 3D geometric shape. Like shapes that's 3D, you able to see them in different forms and shapes and fashion. So that's all that was. And then we moved into 4D. And then we moved into from tapes to compact disc to Blu-ray. When we went to Blu-ray, it was just letting us know from a planetary perspective that we moving into different enlightenment on the planet. And they kept giving it to us all the time, and we wasn't even paying attention to it. So the whole time we went from different rays, which was alpha, delta, gamma. All of these are different rays. The brain activate off of gamma rays. So if you want to get in tune with the universe, listen to gamma rays. See what the frequency of gamma rays is. And that's going to open your mental telepathy up so you can start receiving these messages. Everything is frequency. That's why the FCC try to control the frequency around you, because they try to keep you dormant with frequency. And then like I feel kind of sorry what they did to our brother Kanye West, because he was telling the truth. Kanye West ain't crazy. He just woke up. You know, somehow he bypassed the MK Ultra to where they put an implant in Kanye West that shut down him, that had him thinking a certain way. You see what I'm saying? That MK Ultra is a new frequency that they use to try to shut down our frequency, because they know that the gateways are opening up and sending the frequency and the energy to us, so they want us to be dormant. So they tried to shut down Mr. Kanye West because he was delivering the message, and he was shutting down they so-called Illuminati. And I'm shutting them down right now too, because I'm delivering the message. I want them to come for me. Come, please come, because I'm not even an earth being. Come and see what happened to you. I don't even vibrate on the same frequency, so you can't even see me. You see what happened in Neo in the Matrix, right? You remember in the Matrix when they were shooting that mate Neo in point blank range, and he ducked he was dunking all the bullets and doing all of that. I'm not even on the same frequency as them. So they can't even touch me. They can't even come in my auric field, to be honest with you, because our energy is totally different. You see, we got two different polarities that we vibrate on. So I don't even see them in a human form. I see them in a spiritual form. So I could defeat them by just looking at them, to be honest with you. So if they want to come, they could come. Come play my game. You see what I'm saying? Come. Because now is the time we awaken. And all the people going to awaken, and the message is out. And it's not a game. I'm smiling, and I'm smiling because I'm delivering the message, and it's getting out, and I'm waking people up. And I love y'all. I want y'all to be awakened. I love the world. I don't just love one person. My job is to save humanity. I'm a master builder. I'm a 22. When y'all see me on this 3D paradigm, I'm jumping up in the videos, wearing the clothes. That's only because I'm trying to get into their organization to shut it down, to make a better thing going on. I'm not really caught up into that. I could care less about that shit, to be honest with you, because I've been past it. I bypassed it already. And they already know this. They know I'm going to shut them down, because it's not just one of me. It's a lot of me. You understand? It's a lot of me. And we coming forth right now. So when we come forth, we going to go back to the original template, was using the star, when we was using the stars, the planet and the moon to tell the time and to control different things. The Egyptians already was giving us the messages. They just took us off the original template because they was able to brainwash our family and take us through the slavery that they put us through. If we never went through that state of slavery, which was a stasis, we would have been woke up a long time ago. And it wasn't just one set of people. It was the Pope and the Vatican. I'm going to say it again, and I don't give a fuck if they watching. It was the Pope and the Vatican. It ain't no such thing as space. They created that whole illusion. It ain't no such thing as aliens are going to come into our realm and conquer the earth and all of that. They did that to pump fan to people. Ask the Pope and the Vatican why they create a fucking telescope to see into the intergalactic realms and why they created CERN, which was created by NASA to test the God particles. You can't test me. I'm God. We are gods. How can you test me? You can't test my genetics. You can't even rewrite my code. You can't. So you know, it's sad to see when you got a bunch of scientists that's sitting around trying to test the God particle and trying to take our DNA and clone it and make embryos of what God created. You can't do that. It's only going to blow up in your face. That's all, and that's what it's doing right now. And now you scared. You shaking in your boots because right now you know it's over with. They scared right now. They fears because we taking the earth back. The same thing that happened when they said in Revelations when the trumpet was going to blow. Okay, the trumpets did blow. They released Donald Trump. Donald Trump came to light. He brought everybody back because he made everybody afraid. And that made people come together more and go against him to show more love for each other. So it was a double danger. It went from negative to positive because the positive side is that it brought everybody together to think about what the hell he going to do so we could formulate a plan to stop it. So it was a good thing. So the trumpets did blow. So now that the seals are released, now we need to act on it. Do not be afraid of that. You had telepathy. If you get on a higher frequency, you could shut that man down with a thought, period. And they fear you because you guys, that's why they trying to test every particle of your genetics to see how they could shut you down. How could you shut down something you made from, stupid? You came from us too. You understand? Everyone came from the universe. So how can you test something that you came from? Whether you like it or not, whether they good or evil, they still came from us. You see what I'm saying? And they still controlled by the same vibrations that we vibrate from and everything. So how can you go against something you created from? That's like Lucifer coming down and trying to go against God. And now he using the lower vibrating beings that vibrate on third density to walk in his light. The Luciferians, the Jesuits. They had Obama caught up in the Jesuit. You see what I'm saying? But now I guess he waking up to true enlightenment, but it's really out. Tell him about how y'all took those scientists from Germany and tried to bring them in so they could test the God particle, and then when they wasn't effective enough, you tried to kill them and get them out of this country, and then try to make it seem like the oil had something to do with it. And what that was what you call it, a diversion. That's what it was, to separate us from the truth. But as long as I'm still in this reality and I'm going to keep coming back into multiple lifetimes, I'm going to keep spreading the message until this reality is the perfect one. And I'm not going to stop. And you can't stop me, period. So I want y'all to come. I'm doing these videos. I'm going extra hard on Facebook because I want y'all to come. I'm trying to make y'all come. Do you understand that? I really want y'all to come because I know what to do. I know how to shut it down. Let me tell y'all something. And this is straight up. Everybody that carries stones, if you guys know what these stones is and you carry these stones, take stones no matter what it is. Amethyst, tektite, you see what I'm saying? Centron. It could be any type of stone that, and you understand the element of the stone and put it together, and this stone is going to project up. This stone is going to send the energy up and break through the energy grid that's over the universe. And once it open up, then we're going to elevate to a higher consciousness of evolution. So the things that we was experiencing by going into our higher consciousness, we're going to experience it in this auric field of reality. So we got emeralds and crystals the size of anvils and things like that, the size of a boat's anchor. Those size, real big, that we going to send this light up and project, and we going to break through that energy field and let the energy in. So that's why they tricked you to believe that they was going into space. If they went out of the energy field, they'd die, they'd perish, and then you can't get out of it because your energy is not even heightened. Like, you're not even enlightened to even go past fifth density. It's so many dimensions. We live in multiple dimensions. The ascended masters control 12 density. That's the 12th dimension. And I'm one of the ascended masters from the 12th dimension. So they frequency, vibration in this reality is not even dense enough for them to even travel through the dimension that I'm from. They body too heavy. The density of their body is too heavy. The molecule of their body is too heavy to even travel through the dimension that I exist in. And then consciously, they can't even touch me neither because they still on another 3rd dimension. They vibrating with Satan and all the Luciferians on the 3rd dimensional paradigm. So they mind capacity is not even enough to even touch me. You understand? So all of this political stuff that they got you guys afraid of, do not be afraid. Right now, we are the light workers. We are the starseeds. We came here to save the galaxy. You see what I'm saying? Stop thinking you human. When I say we saving the galaxy, I'm not talking from no movie. This is not a movie. This is real reality. This is not a video game. This is not a movie. This is not no religion. This ain't none of that. This is real reality on who you are. So stop playing around. Like, this is not no game. Stop letting these people brainwash you. Get on that new frequency. The new frequency. Get on the earth frequency is the 528 frequency that been here. Start studying frequencies. Start studying colors. Start studying shapes. Start studying molecules. Start studying those things that really exist in your auric field. Start eating from the planet. Stop vibrating at a lower density. Understand what you're doing. A lot of you vibrate at 3rd density, and then some of you could come to 4th density to where you conscious, but then when you get in the presence of 3rd density beings, you allow them to bring down your frequency to a 3rd density, and then you lose your identity again. You got to understand what the true meaning of astral planing is. You see what I'm saying? You gotta understand that when you in this reality, you could still be on a 5th dimensional conscious thinking while you in 3rd density. And then if you in the presence of 3rd dimensional beings, you could come down to 3rd density, which is the 3rd dimension, and talk to them. And then you could go back up to 5th density and astral plane again. Because when you go back up to 5th density, you up here where the ascended masters are. And then we could talk to you and then give you the messages. And then you come back to 3rd density as a prophet. And then you deliver the messages to the people because they still sleep. And they sleep so they can't get the messages. So it's your job to become a prophet, to become a vehicle, and understand. Stop worshiping them prophets. Those prophets are not for you to worship. Those are deities. These deities carry dimensional symmetry, and they came into this reality to deliver a message to you. Do you know that, let's say, okay, gifts and talents. Do you know that any one of those prophets or anybody that passed over from our reality to the spirit realm, you could go into the spirit realm and talk to them and receive any one of those talents or gifts that they have? Because if they getting it from the auric field. You know, what I learned is that anything you ever think about is already in the auric field already. That's why we all share the same thoughts and think the same things, and everybody do the same thing collectively. You see what I'm saying? Because it's only one auric field, it's one energy field of information that we share collectively. So anything that anybody ever learned in their life, you can learn the same thing. You just tap into the energy field or the vibration that they was on, and you can learn it. And that's the secret. You understand? They don't want you to know that. You remember when they plugged Neo up in the Matrix and he kept saying he want more and more, and they kept giving him information, and the information was coming to him so fast. It was like in an instant. I plugged into the auric field and I received different information from planetarian beings that been here before. So if I want to go back in time to realize something that happened, I could go back and talk to any being that passed over, and I know what happened that day in time. You see you see what I'm saying? So half of the information that I'm giving you, I went back in time to gather, and I came back into the present to deliver, and I'm going into the future to manifest. You understand that? So I control multiple timelines, and the timelines is past, present, and future. So I astroplane through multiple timelines to save people at different points, because two frequencies can't occupy the same space, and we all exist for a reason. So certain times I quantum jump to where I could quantum leap into different realities. So when I quantum leap, 1 minute I might be rich, the next minute I might be poor, the next minute I might be here. It depends on the reality that I'm in. But I quantum leap into different realities. So I quantum leaped into this reality. The last reality I was in the US. I did a lot of things when I was in the US. I helped a lot of people. I saved a lot of people. Then I quantum jumped over to Hong Kong. And now I'm in this quantum auric field. And I got to do some things in this auric field. So it depends on where I go quantumly. So my spirit take me to different dimensions quantumly, because I understand what the true meaning of astroplaning is, and I understand what metaphysics, astrophysics, and everything on the physical plane. I'm a master builder. I'm an ascended master. So when I tell you guys that I'm ascended master, I'm not just saying it because I read some stuff on YouTube. I'm not saying it because I read or looked at some videos. I'm saying it because I'm experiencing it every moment, every vibration, every feeling. I am. So when you know that you are, and then another thing, they didn't want you to know God's real name. God's real name was Yahuwah. So you guys need to look up Yahuwah and look up Yahuwah and who Yahuwah was. You need to get the book of Enoch. It's called the book of life. The book of life, it contains the codes to our DNA, our genetic. It teaches you about the shapes. It teaches you about the planet. It teaches you about the stars. It teaches you about the sun. It teaches you about the moon. It teaches you about everything that vibrates in your auric field, and then you will really know who you are. And then you will stop looking to other gods, like looking outside of yourself to other gods. So like I said, life is bigger than what it is. So when you see me with the jury on, and when you see me hip hopping and doing all of that, that's only because I'm coming into that to shut it down. I'm not trying to shut down hip hop. I'm shutting down the elitists that's pouring the poison into it, because the hip hop is a form of expression, but the poison is not. The MK Ultra brainwashing our people and stuff like that. So I done been in a lot of organizations, so I see how they operate. And like I said, I done quantum jumped into different realities. So I could go into the past, present, or future and shut down anything they trying to do. So like I said, I want them to come. The time is now. You better go back to Revelations when they said only a few is going to be selected. And what they mean by that is the ones that's vibrating at this day and age, at this present frequency. A lot of our loved ones ain't make it because they put them to sleep mentally, and then they was eating from the earth, and it lowered their vibration, and it ain't allowed them to transcend to this new codex of DNA. And it's not a new code, it's just the new energy. Because right now, the 1212 just happened. That was a new gateway to let energy in. Every time you eat from the universe, your energy raises up. So our loved ones that's passed over into another dimension, they knew that this time was going to come. Some of them already knew that they had to pass over into another dimension so they can help us do the grid work now. So a lot of your loved ones are looking over you right now. They ascended ones. They ascended masters. You see what I'm saying? This was their time to go into a Passover, because they knew that that time was coming. It ain't nothing. Don't cry when your loved ones pass over, because it ain't nothing to cry about. They already knew that. They ascended. When they ascended to a higher frequency and they came into this reality, they knew that that time was going to come. Because when you come into this reality, they had to come and save us. The call was sent to the Pleiades, to Lyra, and to Sirius, and they came here. And when Earth met its core, the energy came on the planet, and that let them planetarians come and save the universe. So we had to go through the same thing as you Earthlings, 9 months of creation to come into this womb, from the woman womb. If you look in Rome, they worship the woman because they know the womb is shaped like a V, and that's the way into this dimension, because it's a vortex. You see what I'm saying? And they know this. That's why they keep trying to poison our women. Y'all men better stop playing with the woman, because that's the feminine creation. It's feminine creation first and then male energy. It's two energies, the yin and the yang. That's what make up the universe. That's what's around you in the auric field. So God is not neither a man nor a woman, it's both. That's why you have both a man and a woman. So stop letting them think all this, they took a rib and all. That's all bullshit. It's just energy. You understand, that we created from. So stop it. Stop it. And a lot of us, we was matter that we molded into this reality, because we could take any shape we wanted. We wanted to come here as humans to save humanity. We could have been a dog, we could have been a cat, we could have been any object we wanted to, because we could shape form, because we matter. But we choose to take this form because we knew what we had to do when we came to this planet. So we came to this planet to save humanity. So we came to do the job that we needed to do. And we knew when we came to this planet that we was going to have to go through everything like a human. From being birthed, from being born, and going through all of that type of stuff. And then once we wake up. See, the thing was, in my past life that I was in before I was in this reality, I left memory triggers here. I left a lot of things that I could remember when I come back into this reality, who I was, so I could continue my mission. And when I leave this reality, I'm going to leave more memory triggers, so when I come back, I'm going to keep on doing it. You see what I'm saying? So it's a lot of that have to do with astral planing and with knowing who you are. So we had to actually leave memory. That's why the Egyptians left the hieroglyphs and the pyramids, because the pyramids is the point of the universe, that the north, south, the east, and the west, which all of it is on a geometric symmetry, and it projects energy like this. And that energy creates a portal and a gateway to send the energy down, and it allow us to exist within this auric field. You see what I'm saying? So, and then it allow different beings to come into the gateways that's happening. Because you got to understand, we going through different calendar dates. Those calendars was created by the Mayans, because the Maya is the reality that we in. So we created the calendars because we knew that the universe operate off of free will. So everybody got free will. But when we saw that it was evil in the universe, we had to bring all the collective minds together to think collectively, so that way we could control the movement of the universe. So we created the calendar. And when we created the calendar, we knew different dates within your Earth system that it was going to open up to portals, and those portals was going to open up to let the energy in, so we could come in and we could save humanity. So when you see the 9, which was the 9th day, the 9th month, 2009, that was the activation of the spirit. The 999. You had a multiple of 9s. So 9 was being reciprocated to where the energy was so strong, it aligned the spirit with the stars and everything. That was the first spiritual alignment. Then we had because you got to think about, these are different times from the 19th century that we was in with a 1 and a 9. The 1 is the first number that's relevant to energy, and the 9 is the spirit. So that's the 19th century. So that's a 19 vortex of energy. And then we go into the 20th century, the 2 and a 0. The 2 is an infinite number as well, because it's two energies, the 1 and the 1 being put together, creating a 2, and the 0 is cancellation. So we in the 20th century. And then any numbers before that creates a gateway. So now what we did when we knew that they switched the original template and they took us from our original template, and they was controlling the timeline because they was controlling the way we think, and they was controlling the events that's happening. We jumped the timeline. As light workers, we jump timelines. Timelines mean when you see perception, whatever happens in front of you, you control what happens in front of you. So we jump timelines. We made the universe jump timelines to move on our timeline. So as an ascended master, I'm controlling the timeline of the universe. So the universe goes at free will to what happens on the timeline. And they knew that. So mentally, they had to put you in a 3D paradigm so they could bring everybody together collectively and control your thoughts. And when your thoughts become a frequency that resonate with the universe, now they can control the whole universe by controlling everybody's thoughts, because they controlling everybody's frequency. You understand that? So once we knew that that was going to happen, I came into this reality to shut that down, because I knew that was going to happen. You see what I'm saying? So I'm not talking to you from an earth perspective. I'm talking to you as a planetary being, as a star being, as a light worker, as an ascended master. I'm delivering a message that you never heard before, because like it's not hard to explain. It kind of hurts my spirit and my soul to see you guys being put to shame like that, going through all of that. It really hurts me to see that a lot of our men and women are brainwashed on a 3D way of thinking, to where they think material things is the facet of life. They letting material things that they already control, which is molecules, control the way they think and the way they act towards each other. Because now, when you idolize material things, it puts you in a vortex of worship, a possessory, to where you start possessing these material things, and then you will do anything against your brother and sister because you in a mental paradigm and you don't even understand. So when I see people act out and do things like that, I know it's not really them. I know that they being brainwashed. You understand? So sometimes we gotta have compassion for our brothers and sisters, our mothers and fathers, grandparents and loved ones that's mentally brainwashed. That's not them. They've been brainwashed. They frequency of existence is being controlled by mental modulation. It's called mental modulation, to where they controlling the frequency of your mind by what they put in front of you. So we need to help our loved ones change their perception. Let's just say, for instance, I want something like a car, and I'm gonna just give you guys some insight on this reality as a celestial being and how to attract things in this reality. And I know this video is fairly long, but I'm here to deliver a message, and I think the information is very much worth it. So those that's tuning on, I appreciate you guys listening and having a full understanding of what's going on. So basically, if you want to attract things in this reality, what you need to do is understand the frequency that is on. Start studying different frequencies, different matter, like glass, gold, metal. That's all matter, because it got to be melted, and when it's melted, it's molded into different things. So I study frequencies, and when I study the frequency, I'm studying the frequency of what the object that I'm trying to attract is created from. So whatever frequency is created from, that's the frequency I meditate on. And it's going to be different rays. It's either going to be the alpha ray, the gamma ray, the delta ray, and it just depends on what is created from, what substance it created from, and what planet star the substance came from. Because a lot of these different substances came from different planets, because they was gifts from different enlightened ascended masters that helped the enlightened ones that was on the planet do certain things. So a lot of those things are gifts. You understand? Because the gifts was the knowledge to how it exists within our auric field. That's the gift. By giving us the knowledge to know how to melt gold and mold it into different things. We already had the science, because the genetic science is built up in us within our DNA. But we didn't have a blueprint, because the original blueprint was dormant. So when you take objects and you know that an object is a molecule that's a dense charge of energy, you could take any object and match your frequency to it, because we living in it's like a push and pull, a magnetic field, to where they call it gravity. It's gravity and anti-gravity. You got matter and antimatter. So you got two different forms of matter. So when you understand the way these matters vibrate, you able to switch the polarity of them, and you able to allow them to attract. So I'm able to attract anything that vibrate, and everything vibrate because everything came from us. So I don't get attached to nothing worldly, nothing physical. I can attract everything. A lot of people say, they wish they had an instant genie to where they could think of things and it just come to life. Well, you can. You just not vibrating at the frequency to be able to do that. And that's what the problem is. They don't want you to be able to do that, because they don't want you to ascend to a higher frequency and then become an immortal existence. You understand? That's what they don't want you to do. That's the real blueprint of being awakened. So a lot of people are not awakened to understand. They only awaken a little bit to where they understand a little bit of it, and they read, but they don't really know how to really do it. They read about it, but they don't know how to act it out. They don't know how to live it. They don't know how to walk in it. You understand? If you don't know how to walk in it, then you're not going to never experience it. You're just going to experience the thought of knowing it exists, but you're not going to experience the creation of actually living it. And that's when you start feeling good about it, because you understand that you could do what you want. And then what's going to happen is that it's going to change your life financially. Once you change your life financially, and money is just a tree, and we all know that, but once you attract the money, and you able to attract that, then financially you could change your situation, because money give you options. That's it. It just give you an option to say, well, I want to do this, or I could do that, or I could do this, and that's it. So once you get that option, then you got the option to do whatever you want, period, to where you are free, to where your rent is paid, your bills is paid, you're not concerned with no money. Now you could do what you want in your life and take your time and think about what you want and do whatever you want with your own time and your own life. That's the real meaning of having a peace of mind. A lot of people say a mind is a terrible thing to waste. You're right. A time is a terrible thing to waste. You could waste your mind and you could waste your time too, but time is a terrible thing to waste. You see what I'm saying? So you can't waste your time on the physical plane not doing anything. You got to spend your time wisely. That's why you only get those different generations, because they say it's only 4 but it's longer than that. So each generation, you need to be doing something greater. Like I know when I was 10 years old. So from 10 years old to 20 years old, that's 2 generations. You see what I'm saying? You guys, in human years, they call it, what do you guys call it in human years? You guys call it, 10, you know, I can't think of it right now because I'm not operating from a 3D paradigm. I'm thinking 5D, but you guys call it, a decade. Yeah. In the human, perspective, it's called the decade. We call it a light year. You guys call it decades. We call it light years. So from the time of 10 years old to the time you turn 20 to the time you turn 30, each one of those stages is decades. So you got from 10 years old to 20 years old to 30 to 40 to 50. Each decade, you should already master a certain area of this reality that's going to help you when you pass over. So you need to look at these as time periods. And if you're not mastering these time periods, then what are you living for? If you're not mastering these time periods, then what are you living for? From 10 years old to 20 years old to 30 decades, you're supposed to master something each decade. So every decade, when I figured out what was going on, I mastered something about myself. So that way, I could be a better version of myself. You understand? So that's what you guys need to have a practice of. And then another thing, you need to understand what's your soul purpose. And then you need to understand what are you going to do when you leave this reality. That's what you need to be focused on. What am I going to do when I pass over? Don't think when you pass over you just dead, because there's no such thing as death. You need to be preparing what you're going to do when you pass over, because you're going to live on into multiple dimensions. What I'm explaining to you is that based on your information and your knowledge in this reality, you will have the knowledge to consciously incarnate into another light body which you have during the time of your reincarnation. Because death is just a reincarnation. There's no such thing as death. And then you incarnate because you incarnate into another reality of existence. So it's reincarnation and incarnation. So you got to figure out what you're going to do when you leave this place and incarnate into another light body. And you need to learn incarnation and reincarnation so you could build yourself up. So when you do ascend to a higher frequency, because in order for you to get there, you got to keep going through this reality over and over and over. And the more and more you go through this reality, the more and more you ascend to a higher dimension. So you might start off at the first dimension, and then you keep going up every time you enter this reality, and then you become an ascended master, and you be up there with the master, geometric masters that shape the universe. You see what I'm saying? And they all trying to figure out who God is, who the universe is. We are the grand architects. Not the architect Lucifer, because he put all of that architectural stuff to try to throw people off. I'm saying the geometrical architect. We shape the universe. You understand? We shape the planetary plane that you walk on. We shape the horizontal plane. The horizontal plane that you walked on, we shape the horizontal plane. We shape the vertical plane. So we understand these codes, and we shape the plane. And then we made the plane with an auric field that would allow you to manifest things consciously with your thoughts, because you could control them through vibrations. That's what we did as ascended masters, and we shaping the universe more and more and more and more. Now that we just had this 12-12 universal alignment, a lot of you are vibrating at a higher frequency and don't understand. You need to start manifesting, because the timeline of creation in 12/21/2012, that's when Earth met its core. The Earth stopped vibrating on its axle. The Earth stopped spinning. It's still vibrating, but it stopped spinning. So the Earth saw itself in duality. It was the return of Nibiru, the return of the dark planet. You see what I'm saying? And now, being that the equinox is when the sun shifts, and it takes different different alignment within the equator. Because Horus is the sun god, and that's the all-seeing eye. And then you had a moon. The sun and the moon is the same thing, but they just switch direction depending on the hemisphere. So based on the direction of the sun and the moon, the energy flows in different directions. So when you understand which direction the sun and the moon is, and then you understand the density of the moon. When we say the moon is full, we mean that the energy of the moon is so full, it's creating a auric field to be stronger on the universe. And that means we could take the energy that we're feeling at that time and do different things, because the energy is the matter, and the matter, we could shape it into different things. So when we say we follow the sun and the moon, we follow the sun and the moon because subatomically, that's how we operate. So we able to operate on a certain energy to where we able to do things during certain times. So it's certain times we do business. It's certain times when we meditate. It's certain times when we do everything, because we understand that we working with the energy and we're not human. So a lot of that has to do with ascending to a higher frequency. It don't have nothing to do with how, where you was born at. It don't have nothing to do with who your parents was. It don't have nothing to do with whether you white, black, Chinese, whether you Japanese, whether you Russian. The universe don't see no color, because we all came from the same energy. It's no such thing as let's go against these people and all of that. We don't see no color at all, period. So you need to get out of that. If you still racist and you still seeing color, that means you ain't gonna be here real long, because right now we moving into a love grid to where the frequency of the planet is changed up here. So if you down here and you still racist and still, that means you on a 3D dimensional paradigm to where you only see things in 3D. We see things in 4th and 5th density to where we shifted our consciousness. So if you still thinking on that 3D paradigm, and nature is the mother, and Horus is her son shining the energy down, and the universe is the whole intergalactic realm, which is the cosmos, allowing this whole reality to accelerate into a higher frequency, you still going to be stuck on this same frequency grid. And guess what? You're going to cancel out. And that's when you really facing death, because now you're going to get stuck in between dimensions to where you can't ascend to a higher dimension, because when you was in this reality, you didn't do what you need to do. So now when you transcend, you can only go over the 4th dimension, and you just going to be a 4th dimensional being. But being that you didn't do what you needed to do in this reality, when you pass over, you can't even go into 6th dimension, 7th dimension, 8th dimension. You can't. So while you here, you need to be subatomically raising your energy so that way you can ascend to multiple dimensions when you leave here. Do not be stuck to this reality. They want you to be stuck to this reality so they could trick you. So when you pass over, you stuck in between different dimensions. It's called stasis. Do not get caught up in stasis. Do not let them control you. Please control your own thoughts. Control your own vibrations, because you have free will. And stop letting fear become a part of you. Stop letting fear shut you down. So you have to figure out what you're doing. And it's like this. Like to be conscious is to be able to control yourself on different levels of consciousness. And it's really being able to control your emotions too, because you don't let your emotions get the best of you. I know sometimes you guys get caught up to where people be mean and people might act a certain way, but you got to understand that they haven't grown up emotionally to where they still letting their emotions control them. And when you don't have control of your emotions, emotions create actions. So they're going to take actions and do things to you that you don't like. So when you are conscious, you learn to control your emotions, because you understand emotions can control thoughts, and they can cause thoughts to have you thinking crazy, and that thought could create an action to do something crazy. So you got to understand to control yourself. You see what I'm saying? So when we come from the spirit world and we say get in tune with your higher self, we mean spend time with yourself. You see what I'm saying? Learn yourself. You said, what do I think about the light language? We speak the light language all the time, because the light language comes from the pineal gland. The light language is how we connect with each other without saying nothing. The light language is how we come together universally and attract each other energy. Whenever you think of something real dominant and prominent, you sending out the energy to attract either that being to bring whatever in front of you, because the universe work by energy grid, and the universe start going into the energy grid to see how whatever you thinking, it can manifest it, because the universe don't know what's good or bad. It just know energy, period. So it just depends on your emotions as a being to depict what type of energy that you putting out, whether it's going to be a good energy or a negative energy. You see what I'm saying? The universe don't have no control. It's just that you are a charged electron, and that charged electron is going to magnify with whatever the universe the universe is going to magnify with the electron from itself and the electron from you, and it's going to track whatever to you, whether it's negative or positive. So if you are controlled by perception, whatever put in front of you, somebody say, oh, go stab this person, and you go do it and stuff like that, and you mentally control, and just war, like you see war on TV, all of a sudden you want to get a gun and start shooting people, because it's like you not controlling your own perception. If I put a piece of paper in front of me and it's a lavish house or a car or something, and I look at that, automatically the thought of it is going to send a signal to my heart. My heart is going to feel a feeling, and that feeling is going to be an emotion, an electrical charge of emotion, and that emotion is going to create a thought based on the picture. So if the picture look like something evil, it's going to send a signal through my heart. That heart, the signal through my heart chakra, it's going to create a vibration, and it's going to create a thought in my mind, and it's going to make me do something. You see what I'm saying? So when they put all this war and all of these things in front of you, they putting these things in front of you to control what you think, to control what you feel. They know if they bring all of us together collectively, and I keep saying it because more and more people coming in, and I want y'all to get this message. I really love y'all. I'm in love with the universe. I'm in love with who I am. You see what I'm saying? I'm in love with myself. I know who I am. In order for you to be in love with God, and like I said, God is a title, but we only use that title because that's what we vibrate with. And it ain't no rules to the universe on what you could love and what you can't feel. Don't let all them people trick you to believe and say, well, if you wear black, you're going to be negative. If you wear brown, you're going to stop it. Cut it out. Cut the nonsense out. Please. I watch all of it, and I'm tired of it. Cut the nonsense out, okay? Because you came from all of that stuff. How can you hate or love something you came from? You can only have a love relationship for everything you came from. You can't have hate for something. You can't say, well, I'm wearing blue, but I can't wear black, and black came from you. You got to love everything in the world, period, to love the universe, which is God. So if you caught up between loving this thing and not loving that, I know you brainwashed. Don't talk to me. Half of these people up there, I ain't screaming no names, but they reading from books and got everybody following them, and they brainwashed themselves. Don't nobody want to be brainwashed with the things of the earth. You need to be telling them about what's going on in the planet. Because then when you ain't no good as the people that's putting the bullshit on TV. And excuse my French, I'm just getting a little upset a little bit. Because it's kind of messing with my emotions when I even think about it. That they going to sit up here and brainwash my brothers and sisters and put y'all through this mental stasis. I watch it all the time and watch the bullshit that they say on Facebook. And it's not up to me to try to correct nobody. You see what I'm saying? But it's up to me to deliver a message. And those that follow me will know that I'm on a path to humanity. I'm on a path to deliverance. And I'm going to guide them the right way. I'm not going to tell you nothing that's from the earth and get you to follow that when you are a planetary being. And I'm going to get you in line with yourself. If they telling you this information that's from the earth, then they not getting you in line with yourself. Then they trying to get you caught up into their way of thinking. And that's the same way Hitler tried to do and all of that type of shit when they tried to control people. So how can you awaken somebody when you telling them shit that's false? Let me see you prove that all the allegory and the doctrine that you reading from is real. You reading from somebody else's thoughts. I'm channeling from energy that's already relevant, that's flowing. So I'm not even speaking from a human consciousness. I'm speaking from a higher consciousness, and I'm not reading anything. And all the information that I'm delivering, I picked up from a past life, because I went into the past, I brought it to the present, and I'm working with it in the future. All the information that you picked up is from the past, but we don't know if it's real or not, because it's all philosophy. It's all allegory. You see what I'm saying? It got a lot to do with ideology. It's a lot of these idols, like you idolizing other people's thoughts and work. I live in linear time. I'm in the now. What's happening right now. What I could see, what I could do right now. I'm controlling linear time. You need to think in linear time. Stop thinking in the past. If you think in the past, it's going to stop your present. Everything that's happening now, keep thinking on the now. If you walking across the street, think about you walking across the street. Don't walk across the street and start thinking about what happened yesterday. Stay in the now. Operate in the now. Understand this. Every thought that you think right now is unfolding in front of you. So if you think in the now, everything you want to manifest is going to happen in the now, because it's already happening. So they don't want you to be in the now. That's why they created time, to keep you stuck between time zones and all of that. So that way you would be caught up into their time grid. You see what I'm saying? They knew what they was doing when they created time, because that's not the time that the universe operate on, because we don't see time. We don't even see the past, because the past never existed, because we can't go back. And we the only one to share the past experience. So if you the only one to experience that past experience, that means it never existed, because it's an illusion. You see what I'm saying? You cannot go back and relive the past, so that means it never happened, because you can't show nobody it. You're the only one that know about it. So the past don't exist. We only have present and future. You see, past is just a mere image of the present, but it's just dated to a further reoccurrence. But you can't go back and live it. So if you live it, that you start putting yourself on a 3D thinking, because now you stuck and you're not allowing yourself to go to fifth density. Stop it. Cut it out. Free your thoughts. Anybody you have any hardship against, anybody that did anything wrong, let go of that energy. Just forgive them. Let go of that. Because if you hold that energy in your heart, then you're going to keep yourself stuck between dimensions, and you're not going to let yourself evolve consciously. And then you're going to kill yourself, because you're going to take that to your grave. All these little stuff that they say, you're going to die with that and take it to your grave. They just saying little stuff because they know the truth. You see what I'm saying? And then when they say the truth will set you free, I just gave you the truth. So now you have your own mind. And like I said, when you change your perception, and then you able to control your finances by thinking about the money and coming in alignment with it, and it attracts to you. And then once you become financially free, and you could sit at home or do what you want to do and study any information you want, that means you got a peace of mind. That means I took my mind from the ones that encapsulated the 3D dimensional paradigm. They didn't take your sovereignty from you on earth. They took your sovereignty from your mind, because they took you from your original template. They got you chasing a goddamn sovereign birth certificate that you can't even take with you. Half of the people look crazy as hell trying to chase the straw man. You see what I'm saying? Then they got all these Moors that's supposed to be awakened, got you chasing this goddamn birth certificate, and you can't do nothing with it. Your sovereignty been taken over in your mind. You're not even a conscious being. So the first thing you need to do is take back your mental sovereignty. Then you could take back your physical sovereignty. And then you start setting yourself up for protecting yourself on the earth by building you a fortress. You see what I'm saying? But you can't do none of that stuff. So stop brainwashing my fucking people, okay? And because I'm getting tired of it. Enough is enough. And now, I don't even be cursing or even doing that. But enough is enough. I watch your more groups. I watch all the stuff you doing, and I don't have nothing against the Moors. I'm a Moor too because I was a part of the movement. My parents, my earth parents that birthed me, they made me a part of the movement by who they were. But that movement allowed me to know who I was because I knew what side of the earth that I came from genetically, and that side of the earth I researched it, and that allowed me to know what planet I came from. So if that make a lot of sense, that's how I research my genealogy, from my birth parents all the way to my planetarian parents. You see what I'm saying? So now that's what allowed me to take back my sovereignty, because I took back my mind, and I have a peace of mind, and I took back my sovereignty on earth. So my mind is no longer encapsulated. So if you do not, and I repeat, do not hear another spirit being, a celestial being speaking the way I am, do not follow them. Because they giving you the wrong information. They getting you caught up into false pretense. They going to have you in a paradigm of thinking to where they not going to allow you to ascend mentally. Do not let them do that to you. Ask them where they got the information from. They don't know they self. They can't even tell you. You see what I'm saying? Because they just reading somebody else's thoughts. They live in somebody else's thoughts. Cut the bullshit. Okay? You see what I'm saying? Enough is enough. I'm not going to let y'all do it. Every time I see it, I'm going to shut it down. I'm not trolling nothing or nothing. I'm an ascended master. And Earth is my mission. And I'm not letting none of y'all stop my mission. Because if you stop my mission, you won't exist no more. And I don't have to touch you. Your frequency just going to cancel out because it's negative. It's no good. And then we switch polarities. And the polarity that I vibrate in, you will never enter my auric field. You can't even touch me if you wanted to. You touch me, you might crumble. Because my energy is so strong. I'm not even worried about it. I move objects with my energy. I diversify my energy. So, you know, I can move whatever out my way. So they could get in my way if they want to. They know who they are. And like I said, they got the MK Ultra for all y'all rappers. They want all y'all rappers to become great so they could encapsulate you, make money off your energy, and put this MK Ultra chip in you and control your vibration and make you do things, because what it's doing is controlling the nerves and the electrons. So they could press a button and control your brain waves. You know, I used to study psychosis. And psychosis is a state of thinking. You know, I studied with a lot of professors from different universities like Yale, Harvard, and stuff like that. And I met a lot of professors. So we used to study a lot of stuff like physiology. We used to study methodology. We used to study metaphysics, everything. And you know, I came to a conclusion that you can brainwash people and you can hypnotize people. So they know that you could brainwash people and you could hypnotize people. So they started brainwashing people with a frequency. So certain frequencies that's in music is brainwashing our children and making them do things that they shouldn't be doing. So a lot of times when you see people doing stuff and they jumping around and they acting out of character, it's because they brainwashed by a frequency. And they don't even know it. And only the enlightened ones will know what's going on and get out of that brainwash, because they know what's going on. Their energy is so high, they know that is a frequency around them, because like I said, you could feel the auric field around you through the ley lines in your hand. You could feel that. So I'm in tune with myself. I'm an ascended master. So any one of y'all that contact me, I don't mind taking time out with you guys and getting you on the path of ascension. And right now the video is freezing because the same people that controlling this Facebook is the same people that's trying to do the work too. And they know that, but who cares? You see what I'm saying? As long as y'all get the message, that's all I really care about. But anyway, I'm going to end the video. I'm going to make it shorter than what it was. I know it's real long, and it's just a message that my higher self needed to deliver, because I couldn't let it ball up inside of me no more. I was so tired of seeing it, and like, it hurts me when you guys see different stuff that happen, like death and all of that. Like, that stuff I understand, but when I see people being manipulated, it really hurt me to a degree, because you playing with the consciousness, and then you playing with the universe, and when you play with the universe, then I get involved. You see what I'm saying? Because you can't do that. Like, I'm not letting nobody play on nobody's intelligence, and I know I can't do it myself. You see what I'm saying? And there's other light workers out there, and I thank y'all. I thank all the light workers. I thank the Intergalactic Federation. I thank the Galactic Federation, Galactica. You see what I'm saying? I thank the Omaha Seminoles. You see what I'm saying? And don't worry about all the stuff they trying to do with the indigenous people, because that's a part of us knowing who we are, and we moving back into a sovereignty to where the platinum ray of the universe is shining down from the Pleiades. So the platinum ray is allowing us to understand who we are, because it's the return of the royal families. So the fake royal families that just took over on this earth by hijacking the earth, their time is up. So they scared as hell, because they already been messing around with our astrophysics and everything. So they know the power of the universe. So the Pope and the Vatican fear God. They fear the universe. That's the whole reason why they don't want us to evolve and become immortals, because they know the wrath of God will rapture them. They scared of the rapture, but it's too late now, because we already bringing the rapture, because the seals already been released. So I'm here right now, and I'm here as a light worker. You see what I'm saying? And I apologize for the language. I just get so upset when I see the bullshit. You see what I'm saying? So I come down to third density just to talk to some people, but then I go back up to fifth density to do my work. So on third density, that's the only way some people understand. You see what I'm saying? But as long as you get the message, that's what really means a lot to me. So like I said, we created the group, the Starseeds 1111, because we bringing people, but not people, celestial beings together to think on a conscious grid to save humanity. So if you want to stop Donald Trump, let's come together during 12-12 and 11-11 in these groups, and I'm gonna start putting the times out there and making them events, and let's focus on one conscious accord, and every day let's practice the same exercise. And I bet you any amount of money, the earth will change, because it start with you. So every day at 11:11, we need to think of love, we need to think of peace, and we need to think of happiness. So everybody that's watching this video at 11:11 or 12:12, whichever gateway you want to use, start thinking of love. Take 2 candles, 2 white candles, you could do that, or you could take your crystals, whatever, raise your energy and your auric field around you, and allow you to get into that manifestation of meditation. Use whatever you need to use, whether it's sage, anything, but get into that meditation. You see what I'm saying? And think of love during that time, and we're going to keep opening up that gateway. That's the true ascension. So all of these groups need to be performing that. Instead of keep posting and posting and posting, let's start having meditation together. Let's meditate together. If these fake churches could come together and start preaching all this allegory, we need to come together and have church in these groups and come together collectively and start thinking on the same vibration. And when we do that, we're going to change our lives drastically, and it's going to be for the best. And when I say drastically, I mean fast, like in an instant, because we control things in an instant. So I gotta go now, but God bless you guys, and I'm gonna send it Master Q Mussolini channeling through Quran El Bay.